All right, we're making some fresh pasta today. We're making butternut squash ravioli, and I've got Chloe here today, and she's going to be my assistant, and we're going to put 2 cups of all-purpose flour into our food processor. So if we can go ahead and do that. Let's get that open. Whoops. All right, there we go. We've got 3 eggs here. Fresh pasta has an amazing texture, and it's a beautiful color too. Yep, right into the food processor bowl. We're putting in 2 cups of flour that she's leveled out perfectly. And we're also going to season our pasta dough with a little bit of salt. So this recipe calls for half a teaspoon of salt. We'll put that right into our flour. Beautiful. I think Sue's coming here now. I think I hear Sue at the door. Welcome to Facebook Live, Sue. So we just finished measuring out. We just started, but we've got butternut. I should catch you up here. We've got our butternut squash that we've halved, seeded, and taken the pulp out. We've got it roasting in the oven till tender, and we're just starting to make pasta dough now. So we've added 2 full cups of all-purpose flour, a half teaspoon of salt, and now we're going to hit the motor. We're going to put it on low for now, but we're going to add 1 egg. We're going to drop 1 egg at a time here. 1 farm fresh egg. 2 farm fresh eggs. And this actually can really make your motor struggle a little bit because it's a very thick dough. So you just have to be careful. If it feels like it's really strange, shut it off and let it take a break. I got to burnt out a motor making pasta dough in one of these before. So actually, this is looking pretty good. One thing to know, like, because eggs are all different levels of volume, like they're a natural thing, so not every egg is going to be perfectly the exact same amount of liquid. What I've done here is I have some tap water I've put in a measuring cup. If it looks like your pasta dough is too dry once you've mixed up your eggs and your flour and your salt, a teaspoon at a time you can add of water just to bring it together. So we're going to try that and see. I'm just pulsing it at this point. And when it starts to come together, then we know we've had enough liquid. But you don't want to add too much. You don't want a smoky pasta dough. But now it's going to make a ball. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. That is a beautiful, beautiful pasta dough. We're using a nice organic, free-range, farm-fresh egg. And so we've got a beautiful color here. We just add a little bit of flour to this, and I'm going to knead it for a couple of minutes. Put this water over here. So our strategy today is that, because, and I was just explaining this to Chloe, pasta dough doesn't need to rise, but it needs to rest. The gluten is too active. If you try to work with it right away, and the dough will spring back, it's not going to be as cooperative with you. So if you let the gluten rest for about 20 to 30 minutes, it gives us a perfect natural opportunity to make our ravioli filling. So we can strategize and make that rest time work for us. So I'm just kneading this a little bit. And I'm using the good old heel of your hand motion, pushing down, pushing away. And what we're going to do with this to let it rest, you don't want your pasta dough to dry out. It needs to stay somewhat supple and moist. And we're going to coat it with a little splash of olive oil. And we're going to wrap it in some plastic wrap, and we're going to stick it in the fridge. And that, my friends, is how you make pasta dough. It's so quick and easy, it's almost ridiculous. But, you know, it's a little bit, it can be a little bit of a messy thing. This part's easy. You'll see when it's time to roll our pasta dough. You know, there's a little work involved, but it's certainly worth it. Let me put this stuff away. I'm going to
take this away for you.
Thank you.
And I'll get that cleaned up.
Thank you. And I'm going to wrap this beautiful see if you can see it, with this beautiful pasta dough in plastic wrap. All right, so we're going to start our ravioli filling. I've actually got the wood stove going here, so I'm going to use this as our cooktop. I'm going to add a few more pieces of wood to that. We're going to put in our skillet here, our frying pan, 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to cook some shallots in there. Adding some wood to our fire. Get this going. And I'm going to chop up our shallots. That's a piece of dough there. Oh well. Okay. I've got a little bit of a mess going on here. All right, so we've got our shallot. Now take the peel off. Basically, you're treating it like an onion. It's in the onion family. It's got a skin just like an onion does. You peel it off. And we're doing a fine dice or a mince with the shallot. It's a very flavorful ingredient, but you don't want large chunks of it. You want our filling to be really nice and delicate. So these are small, so I'm probably going to use 2 shallots. And this is going to be, you know, butternut squash has a really nice, mild, sweet flavor to it. Our flavoring agents today for our filling are going to be these caramelized shallots that I'm going to mince. We're going to add a couple tablespoons of heavy cream to our mixture to just give it a little bit of richness. And then the Parmigiano Reggiano, which is one of my favorite hard cheeses, is going to be another component just to add a little bit of a saltiness to our filling, because we're talking about a very kind of mild flavor with the squash. So you need a little something to enhance that flavor. And I know people do all different versions of butternut squash ravioli filling. Some people like more of the fall spices, like the cinnamon and nutmeg and all of that. I don't want it to taste like pumpkin pie. I want my ravioli to have a really nice savory filling. So I'm going with the sage, I'm going with the onions, I'm going with the, you know, the sharper cheese, and I like those flavors. So we've got our wood stove cranking. We've got butter melting in there hopefully soon. This is a little, and we're just doing a nice fine mince. And we made that pasta dough so quickly that I don't know that our squash is going to be timed perfectly for this, so we'll play it by ear. As soon as it pierces easily with a sharp knife, we know that our butternut squash is then ready to be put into the filling. So we'll start one thing at a time here, and we'll get it going. So this is a lot of shallot here. I might not use all of this. I'd rather have too much than not enough. All right, that's looking good. So once this, let me see if I can get, okay, our butter's starting to melt. All right. So it's really fun to cook on this stove. Obviously not everyone has a wood stove at home, but for the purposes of this class, to keep everything in one room, it's kind of nice to get this going here. So we're getting our butter melted, get some more wood in the stove. It is log cabin cookery after all, folks.
There's a little chicken running around here.
Yep. Yep. All right, so we've got this in here. And I just realized I don't have my apron on.
I was going to say I could use one too.
All right, I have one for you.
Thank you.
Here we
very
go.
much. Oh,
Enjoy.
Good. With the Dolly Parton.
It's not the, you did get the Dolly Parton model.
The Dolly Parton model. And are those coffee cups for?
They are for you. There's coffee on the stove in the kitchen, and help yourself. There's milk in the fridge.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, yep. So our butter's melting here. So I'm gonna some shallots to that. And I am probably going to go here with, that looks like a good amount to me. And they smell strong because they're in the onion family, but they cook down to such a nice mellow flavor. They really are delicious shallots. Some people describe them as having a little bit of a combination of onion and garlic flavor. Call it a gunyon. Haha, not funny. All right. So we're gonna let that go. And I'm gonna go pick up some of the other ingredients and get some of this stuff out of the way. It's delicious.
Absolutely. Wonderful. How is that butter going there? Should be interesting. I can't wait to see what that comes out like. Wow. The pan fits perfectly on your.
I know, it's terrific. So we've got our fresh pasta dough made. And again, just to repeat for those who may have checked in late, we had our pasta dough consists of 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We seasoned that with a ½ teaspoon of sea salt, and we used 3 large eggs. I did add a little bit of water, a teaspoon at a time, until my pasta dough became a cohesive ball in the mixer. We are now making our filling for our butternut squash ravioli, and on our wood stove, we've got going here 2 tablespoons of salted butter, and I put probably closer to 1½ shallots, finely minced, that are going to get cooked down. We want them translucent to caramelized, somewhere in there. We want them cooked down nicely. We've got our butternut squash that we've seeded and halved horizontally, and that's going to be roasted until it pierces easily with a sharp knife. To our filling mixture, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 3 tablespoons of Parmigiano Reggiano, which we're going to grate in this awesome little vintage cheese grater that works phenomenally. I'll wait till I show you guys that. You're going to love that. I'm going to add a little bit of grated nutmeg to taste, and salt and pepper to our filling. We want our filling to have good seasoning. So, and then the last part of this class will involve making a brown butter sauce, and it couldn't be simpler. And who am I so lucky to have fresh sage in my garden in March? So yes, I did harvest some fresh sage leaves. Basically, our brown butter sage sauce is going to consist of 1 stick of butter that we allow to foam up and get brown, so it gets a really nice nuttiness to it. Brown butter has a completely different flavor profile than regular butter, and that's what makes it so delicious. And then we're going to throw sage leaves in there. They get a little bit of crispy texture once they get into the hot butter. And then we toss our ravioli into that sauce, and we finish it off with more of that beautiful grated Parmigiano Reggiano. So it is a delicious, I call this like a restaurant meal. Like, this is something that if it's on the menu in a restaurant, I always order it because I love it. And I always kind of, think about the fall with this meal, but you can certainly get butternut squash any time of year. And so when I'm in the mood for it, I make it. I'm not waiting until September or October to make my butternut squash ravioli. When I want it, I want it. So we've got our little chunks of Parmigiano Reggiano already cut here, so that'll be ready to go with our little grater when it's time. And basically, we're waiting to cook down. This is getting hotter now. I think this is starting to cook up a little bit here. I think we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back in a few, see where we're at with our shallots, and we'll continue with part 2. Thank you.